What up, Palm Tree? It's your boy Chillin' Dylan, Jesus of SoundCloud, Black Tom Anderson, and your favorite rapper owes me money. Gotta be real with you guys, man. This is a project review coming from an artist who I have worked with, interviewed, and put on a stage. And I gotta be real with you guys when I say that I am a bit disappointed and a bit underwhelmed, but I'm still gonna speak on Red Bag. Outside Looking In, Red Bag, Signal Hill MC. Me and him connected last year. Shout out to my partner Dan Ganja, who linked us up. And peace to the Rich Minds Collective. But what I believe is that this body of work, which I just now learned is some previously recorded material that had been sitting around for a while, what I've learned is that this is not the best representation of his sound, but what I have still gone on to do is that I did the track by track breakdown as expected, so we're gonna talk about it. First things first, Far From Over. He's kicking it down with a freestyle. It's very braggadocio, and that's kind of what left the bad taste in the palm tree's mouth throughout this project, the braggadocio. There's not that much diversity in the lyricism or the cast and crew throughout this whole project. And it also doesn't sound West Coast. I'm not saying that is a positive or that is a negative. But what I want to see is that if somebody is representing a city here in LA County or Southern California or comes out of the West Coast period, I want to see some representation of our sound and our heritage and our culture. I did not find that on here. Okay. And that's just a me thing, but it is what it is. Next move. Let's get it. Yeah, yeah. This was very much of a Lil Pump, Smoke Perp era type of sound. It was a Playboy Cardi type beat. I really didn't care for it. Platinum. Tight beat. Again, Cardi style. And then 3 songs in, I pretty much know everything I need to know about Red Bag. Interests, style-wise. And this is not a album to me. This was a mixtape. Albums have records. Mixtapes have tracks. These were all tracks. There's not much depth in the production. There's not much storytelling in between. There's no interludes. There's no sing-along hooks. There's not guest appearances to uplift this album. And I'm telling you guys, it takes a village. Okay? What's up? Clearly he's freestyling here. The beat goes crazy. And he's like, I'm just having fun. I think I proved enough. I'm like, wow, that says enough. It was very minimal effort. Dying lit. By this time, literally, I'm walking to the gym at this point, and I'm like, take the headphone off the ear, and I'm like, God damn it, bro. I want to hear Red Bag. I don't want to hear Playboy Cardi. It's okay to get influenced by a sound, but when it's so blatantly based on somebody who I personally am an outspoken critic of Cardi in the first place, it's just, I just can't get down with it. And when he said, I stay going up, I'm living on elevators, I was like, all right. When he said that money calling, I'm pushing up, I'm like, stale. Like, bro, we all smoking weed. We all trying to get some money. What are you doing differently? You know, there's a lack of value in production here too, but I'm a circle back on that. They improve on that. Now, Wanna featuring Frosty the Glowman, who I've never heard of. This one is chill. Kind of had a throwback Odd Future type of vibe. The production value does kick in when the drums increase. Props to the producer on that one. Props to all the producers who worked on this, because one thing I did notice is the lack of sampling on here, which I thought was possibly intentional and kind of interesting. Ain't no Wiz Khalifa, but we still blazing. Like, okay, for the stoners. But In Your City, again, the beat goes hard, but the ad-libs are just fresh out of the Cardi cloning machine. I need to see some community here built through collaboration. Pink Sifu and Too Rich Benji would have been perfect on this song. And like, features will always make a mundane song into a memorable one. So, you know, guys who he's worked with like Terry, who he shouts out on here, or other people from the Rich Minds Collective like Shankar and what's the boy name from Bellflower? Wolf, you know, there's other people he can tap into to, you know, build community, or other local Long Beach area artists, you know, Huey Briss, who else? Aston Matthews, you know, these are just some people who come to mind who are also rappers, you know, that are accessible and probably affordable when it comes to features. Okay. Never Give Up. Again, the braggadocio, but this one is a banger. Kind of felt like his Take 'Em to Church moment. High with my thoughts. I'm like, okay, finally some vulnerability. When he's like, you play with your time, that shit fade away. It's a good late night smoking song. I really wish he would have mixed in some more samples, like kind of awesome Doom type shit. MF Doom's a big influence of his and mine, so that would have been good to see that representation. Mad at Me. Again, at this point, I'm just really disappointed because he's only scratching the surface of what his potential could be. And lyrically, Red is a little one-dimensional. The lack of guest appearances does not work in his favor. Yak. I'm like, robbing the jewelry store for elements or bamboos, I can't decide. I'm like, okay, cool. But, you know, he's just simply not strong enough as a lyricist to carry this whole project. You know, I commend him for trying, but again, it's going to take a village to make a record, make an album. This was a mixtape, you know? And also, if you're going to lean into that mixtape vibe, get somebody to talk some shit on there. Get a DJ or get me or one of the homies to just, you know, get up there and do the ad-libs and do the cutaways and the drops. Like, we need those drops to, like, signify, okay, that he's got this producer. Then you already know you're going to hear this tag when you're listening to Red Bag, okay? AMG featuring Frosty the Glowman was so turned up, real trap shit, and that's exactly where the mixtape DJ thing comes up. And maybe this is his pocket. And then accept the fact, okay, he's being honest, but by that point, I've heard everything I need to hear. Okay, so that's really what I had on Outside Looking In. I need a lot more depth, Red Bag. Need a lot more depth, you know. This kind of sounded like, I was telling Dan, this kind of sounded like Damo Genesis downloads the Playboy Cardi beat pack, you know. And I'm thinking that Red Bag has, previously what I've heard from him is more of like an organic grassroots sound, similar to somebody who would be associated with Stone's Throw, or somebody who's like a Loop Pack member, you know. And he's gonna find his way, you know. I'm just saying, from the outside looking in, I just can't stand behind this one, man. I got to keep it real with you if I'm gonna deal with you. What do you guys think of Red Bag Outside Looking In? Let me know in the comments. Peace, love, Palm. Are you an unsigned or independent artist looking for a review of your music? Well, you need to holler at Palm. Send an email to prettyawesomelitmusic@outlook.com, or just message me on Instagram.
You better follow Palm,
biatch.